Hey guys, it's Songbird. I'm sitting here out on the porch. The weather's turned, it feels so nice, and it's just making me itch, ready to get out and go back hiking. But I know that the weather is still nasty up there, and I'm gonna focus on spending this next month until the weather turns up in Harper's Ferry, um, getting ready, making sure I've got everything. I've tested out all my gear, but I'm also gonna try to spend as much time as I can with my fiance and get in a lot of family time, and make sure that I'm kind of, I guess, preparing everybody for um, my being away, spend quality time, and maybe then um, it'll be easier, I guess, for everyone in my life to be okay with me being gone. That's kind of the mentality that I have right now. Um, in the off season here, waiting to go back out on trail, I've been taking care of my family here, doing a lot of house stuff. We've been remodeling inside. On my blog, I think I put some pictures up of the wood floors we put in and stuff, and it's been cool. But time's been kind of creeping by, and I've just been waiting to get back out. So, but that time is coming up now, where it's time to go back out again, and I'm starting to feel a little not scared, not apprehensive, but um, concerned that when I'm done with the trail, 600 miles left or so, maybe 2 months if I take my time like I have before, which I probably will. End of May, let's say there's a week or two there, and then so going through June, maybe first half of July I'll be done, with the warmest weather possible up in Vermont, where I'm planning to finish, Vermont, New Hampshire state line. So after that, the weather's still nice, and got a couple more months of, like 2 more months of really good weather in most of the U.S. And I keep wondering if I'm gonna be done. When I finish the trail, am I gonna feel like, wow, I'm good. I've gotten my wanderer side filled up on all the adventure I need, and I've completed this big goal that I had to do the whole AT. Didn't do it, in one go like I had planned, but I've been doing it the last 2 seasons. And I'm taking this time off, before I start working and get married with my fiance, and go and, plug myself in back into the career path that I was on before I got off to start hiking the trail. And I want to make sure that I'm ready, and that I'm done, that I won't feel restless anymore. And I have the strong feeling that when I'm done with the trail, I want to go do something else. I want to maybe go hike a section of the PCT, maybe hike the Colorado Trail. I think maybe like a southbound start on the PCT and just go as far as I can before I have to come back. Would be pretty cool. Um, Maybe find a group of people online or something to start out with going southbound, or pick a really popular southbound start date and be in shape from the trail, being on the AT, and just go south with a decent group of people if there are any. Maybe connect with people on Reddit or something, and White Blaze, section hiker, just find someone to go with. That would make it easier, I think. I am pretty worried about southbounding, not having the experience with the ice axes and the crampons and the technical side of climbing. These slopes, especially, you're going up a lot of north-facing slopes and then down the south-facing slopes. So you got a lot of snow on the north-facing side, and bare ground on the other side. But apparently, going down the north side's a lot easier. People slide down a lot. Glissading, I guess is what it's called. That stuff sounds so exciting and so interesting, and I have a real draw to go do that. I have a cousin out in, I think, Oregon. I'm gonna go visit him, and then head up and hike southbound, or maybe hike southbound and then hop off at the end of the first state and see him, and then hike through Oregon. So I don't know, man. I want to see the West Coast. I want to go hike. I want to see deserts and different land features that I haven't seen before. I'm really excited about the idea. I have the money to do it, saved up, and yeah, like, it is digging into my nest egg, and it is digging into time that I have to spend with my family, and doing things that would set me on back on my path to get back to where I'm supposed to be. But I'm just really thinking that there might need to be more after I finish the trail. Maybe if I had finished it all at once, I'd have just been so worn down from it, worn down from it, that I'd feel done. But I guess I've spaced it out enough that now I just want to keep going, and it's kind of bad, I guess. But I'm really happy, so I just want to hold on to that as long as I can, And not that it's like a negative thing to begin my career and all that stuff, but I've just been doing school and school and work, just working so hard for so long, and it's just so nice to like actually feel like, I don't know, free. But anyway, so other options would be, when I was on the AT, the second time I went out, going northbound out of Hot Springs to try to go finish last season. I was going to go Hot Springs to Hanover. It's a big chunk, and I was going to see if I could finish it all up in one go. I ended up getting pulled off trail to come home and spend time with family, which is fine. It's a good thing. It's ended up being good that I've gotten pulled off. I've been able to stretch out the hike longer and really take some time to relax and recover after graduating and kind of center again. But I was thinking about taking a canoe, buying a cheap used canoe and paddling the Mississippi. But the more I looked into that, it seemed like they were just vast stretches of nothingness. And unlike the AT, it's not like 3-4 day sections. You've got all your water. You can't drink the water most of the time. You've got everything you need. Chilling with you in a canoe, and you're paddling it, and then you have to pull up on the shore, and there's shelters to stay at, and there's places to go and resupply, and it's mapped out. It's getting more popular, but that seemed like, I don't know. It seemed a little weird. The more I looked into it, the more I thought maybe that's not my kind of trip, and maybe I want to do something else, like hike another section of a different trail. The CT would be awesome. And I could do the whole CT probably in that time period after I finished the AT. I think that'd be getting towards the warmest point in Colorado. So that's a serious option. I think it goes from Durango to Denver or something like that. Boulder, I don't know. I haven't looked into it as much as I have other trails and other things. So it's either the CT or the PCT. Looking like maybe not a paddle, like a through paddle, like of the Mississippi. The through paddle would be much easier as far as physicality. Going north to south, going with the flow, paddling all day, but doing something really different. That's the one good thing about it. And then trying to stay somewhat organized here. And then the lightest option that's popped into my head is just not flying out to the West Coast and hiking the PCT, where there seems to be a lot of people and I don't have to hike by myself in cougar country and all that. But taking my car, I have a 2013 Forester, taking my Subaru and driving up to South Dakota, seeing Mount Rushmore, driving up through North Dakota into Montana, driving across Montana, seeing like Glacier National Park, and just going west through Wyoming, seeing Tetons National Park. I've stopped in Jackson Hole maybe, where I stopped there. I went there with my family for like a long weekend once. It was a thing for my granddad. And that was pretty cool. I'd like to explore more in that area on my own and not really be locked into like we're going to stay at the hotel, then we're going to go to this place, then we're going to come back to the hotel. Go camp there would be pretty cool while the weather's nice. And then continue going west till I got to Washington and Oregon, see the redwoods, see the sequoias, and then drive south and do like the highway, drive down Highway 1 or whatever, the Pacific Coast Highway, and then hang a right, go west, or go back east, sorry, and check out Grand Canyon, Antelope Canyon, Death Valley, and Arches National Park, and kind of wind my way up. I don't really want to go through Texas. I've been in Texas before on a long road trip to go see friends, and we drove through to Dallas, and it wasn't the kind of country I really would like to look at, so I'm thinking I'll go through further north and go up into Colorado and go east from there through the middle of the U.S. And then part of that also, I think, living in the Southeast, I feel like Florida and like the Panhandle and Alabama and Louisiana and all that, and also going up into North Carolina and stuff. I've been in those states. I like to go to a state that I've never been to before. Not that I've never been to, like, I've been to Colorado a couple times when I was a kid when my granddad lived there. But I think it'd be cool to really drive through and experience those places and spend time there, and pack up the car at the grocery store like I do hiking resupplies. Just have a bunch of stuff that isn't perishable, and just have a little camp stove and cook food like I did on trail, and but a lot less since I won't be expending as many calories. And then go just camp where I want to camp, hike where I want to hike, and see a lot of different places. The only thing about that is the cost is a lot higher. Even with the plane ticket and hiking for many weeks, the food is the only real expensive part of hiking, transportation and food. But you can really bring your food costs down. I'm a no-cook hiker. I eat a lot of trail mix and peanut butter and tortillas and tuna packets. My food costs are at least the same, if not much less than what they are living at home. So I think the food aspect of it's really not that bad. Driving my car, every 7,000 miles, I get an oil change. Any mechanical issues that might pop up from all the driving. I haven't pushed my car that hard before. I've driven it twice the distance from here to New York, from Georgia to New York. So, it's reliable. I've taken care of it. I'm sure it'd be okay, but just, flat tires. I don't have a full-size spare. Don't have like a full-size backup battery. I've got a CB radio, which is nice. I've got a cracked windshield. I'd have to replace that before I left. It's fine just getting around town. I don't really drive much here. And I'm not worried about getting a ticket really. And it's not like really bad. But on a long distance road trip, I know that I'll get stopped. I'm driving constantly. I know I'm going to get stopped for it. And I don't want to pay a huge fine. I'd have to replace the windshield. That's what, $200, $300. Maybe less, but I'd probably get an OEM windshield. And then probably want to get a full-size spare. If I go out somewhere like these canyons, like drive out to Moab or something like that, and I get a flat, I'm going to drive on that little tiny spare that I have in the back of my car. It's not a full-size spare. No. I have to disable all-wheel drive. I have to do all this stuff. So the cost of this trip, gas and car additions, like vehicle modifications, just to feel comfortable. I have a patch kit. I have a air compressor, all that stuff. I have toe straps. I'd probably want to get a come-along. It's pretty cheap just to have something to winch myself out. If I'm basically overlanding, driving road tripping. I'd like to have that. So it looks like the expense would be a lot. It would bite into my little savings nest egg kind of thing I have to, get me my prep courses for my certifications for my career. It'd bite into any unexpected costs I had on the job search. So thinking about it in that way, I'd see more. It would cost more. But, maybe it would give me more food for the wanderer side of me, and fill me up, so to speak, to where I'm like, okay, I've seen the U.S., I've traveled my country, I feel comfortable in what I've seen, like I feel like I've explored enough. I'm happy. Would that do it? Maybe. Or I have really, really enjoyed hiking the Appalachian Trail, the AT. So should I stick to what I know? Should I stick to something that I know will be cheaper and I know will be very fulfilling? Or should I go do something different, maybe more expensive? I really like the idea of the road trip. If I could find someone to go with me, that would be awesome. Cut the gas costs in half. Maybe even the food costs a little bit, being able to prepare bigger meals, like bulk stuff, like cook spaghetti and meat sauce and eat it all in one night, not have to worry about refrigerating things, and eat better food and split the cost of that too. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about it. Probably I have to just wait and see when I'm out on trail what I'm feeling. And as I get closer to completing this big goal of, finishing the last 600 miles and finishing the whole 2,200 something of the AT, seeing how I feel then and if I'm ready to move on when I'm done. Part of me says maybe, but right now I think I'm leaning mostly towards going and hiking whatever I can at the PCT before the season's over, and then hanging up my pack and my trekking poles and just being done with it for a while and getting on track with where my life, I guess, should be. So we'll see. You have this fantasy that your Instagram account will blow up, or you'll make a YouTube video that'll be really interesting to people and get a lot of followers, and be able to make something more out of just the experience itself, and kind of be able to support yourself into doing more of these adventurous things. I've actually this last off season, cooped up, trying to do stuff, be productive, help take care of family, and be more than just, sitting on a couch doing nothing. I started writing. Started writing a little magic fantasy kind of thing. No. And then it's like, what am I doing? I had this idea to write a kind of hiking guide, how-to thing. Why don't I do that? I have all the ideas for it in my head already. Started writing it, and I just locked it down, kept writing, spent about 2 months on it, and wrote a pretty detailed, what ended up being an equipment guide, telling new people, hey, this is what kind of stuff you need, this is all your gear choices, this is what a mid layer is, this is what a insulation layer is, and what it should be made out of, and how it should work, and how do you make sure that you're warm enough, and then a section at the end of the book is much shorter, but how to hike, walking pace, trying to keep up with other people, finding your own pace, being okay with not keeping up with people you meet that you like, just doing what you have to do for yourself, and walking from water source to water source, really important. Stuff like that, how to plan your day and how to manage it. It's there's so much stuff that I didn't know when I started that didn't slow me down, really. I mean, if you go out there and you just start on the AT with a bunch of other people going northbound, you're gonna be fine. It's not anything super extreme. If you're in the main hiking season, you're not out there during the winter. A winter by yourself with no experience could be pretty dangerous. I guess if you did research, it'd be fine, but I would caution against going out on a long hike and starting out in the winter. It's a little more risk. But you know, putting in everything that I had learned and trying to like, you know what? If I could wrap up everything that I knew and teach it to someone, I charge $5 for it. Like, okay. And so I put my book on Amazon, and it's people are reading it. It's pretty cool, but it's not like, I don't know. Again, with like hoping that something would happen that would kind of like support you, you know, like in this adventure, like lifestyle, this like pipe dream kind of thing. You know, the book's selling, but it's not gonna like pay rent or anything. I think so far it has bought me one piece of camping gear. It has replaced my sleeping pad, so that's pretty good. I got an inflatable sleeping pad. It ate the cost for that, but I mean, it'll. It's not. If you looked at the hours I put into it, it's not paying minimum wage. So it's, you know, maybe it'll get bigger, but we'll see. Just need to figure out what I'm doing, you know. But for right now, I guess what I've thought is that I need to just focus on the next thing, like I always have. Just, you know, have fun. Try not to worry too much about what's going to happen later. That's something that happens when you're stuck and you're in a rut and you're focusing on the distant future instead of what you have in front of you right now. When you get out on trail, that goes away. At least for me, it does. And so I know once I get out there, it'll be okay. And what I want to do will come to me, and what I should do, you know, you have to face yourself when you're out in the woods, especially when you're by yourself. So I'll figure it out. So I'm just going to keep double checking my gear, checking the weather, making sure it'll be ideal for me to go northbound with my current setup. It's in my other videos. I tested my stuff to make sure I'll be safe if temperatures are colder than expected. I tested my stuff at like 30 degrees, 40 degrees. So yeah, I'm getting excited. I'm going to focus on taking YouTube videos, expanding my channel a little bit, having fun with it, making goofy videos, getting more time lapses, stringing together, giving people an idea of what it looks like to be out on the trail, like the fun parts of it. I'd really like to encourage more people to go out there and do something like a long section hike, 500 miles or so. I really like for my friends and family to be able to see the ups and the downs, the good stuff, the bad stuff. I need to take more video on bad days, like with the rain and just nasty stuff, because it's kind of cool, you know, like to be under a tarp and just like waiting for the rain to stop and hiking through it if you have to, and like meeting people, and the fun side of it too is just amazing. So I don't know, not to ramble, but keep posting stuff on Instagram and just have fun, you know, and then I think we'll see what happens. But yeah, I was just thinking to make this video because I've been alone a lot on trail. I think the longest I went by myself was like 3 weeks without really hanging out with people or having anyone to hike with, which isn't crazy, but it really got to me, and I ended up talking to my camera a lot and taking more videos and like really enjoying that, and kind of making it into something more than just what it was then, you know, and being able to share it with people, like try to share my experience more. So I was sitting here, it's kind of late here, and I was sitting out on the porch and just kind of thinking like, man, I want to talk to somebody about this. I want to ask someone, like, you know, what should I do? Like ask one of my buddies from the trail the last few years, like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing this, thinking about doing that. But you know, it's kind of hard. A lot of my friends have gone back to other things, and you kind of fall out of touch with people that you don't talk to all the time. I do. And I'm gonna text one of my main buddies that I still keep in touch with, and kind of run it past him a little more, and he's probably gonna tell me what I decided making this video. Just, hey man, go out and start, and then see what happens. He is not a plan guy. My buddy Two Sticks, not a plan guy. He wants to go, and see what happens on the way, and I really like that. I miss hiking with him. Kind of wish I could just take my buddy Two Sticks and go hike the PCT after the AT. But that's part of the whole thing. You have to be willing to go out and just start on your own, or you find yourself stuck at home, stuck in whatever place you put yourself in. So yeah, this video is kind of helping me talk it out and first acknowledge the fact that I have options. I do have a lot of leeway here, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to go do something more if I want to. And kind of solidifying in my head that I'm gonna do it, But just not being afraid of the future, just kind of being like, hey, go out there and start working on something that you want to do. Start hiking, start doing something, and then the next thing will happen. So, all right, well, thanks for listening, and if you want to see any of my other videos, check out some of my channel. I'm not really high energy guy, maybe when I'm out on trail and I'm excited, but it's just been hard, man, waiting to get back out there. So a lot of my videos are kind of monotone. My gear testing videos aren't very colorful, but if you got nothing else to do, drop me a comment. One thing that I want to maybe start doing is getting people's lighter packs and gear grams, just because it's fun for me. I've been hiking for the last 2 seasons. Spent a lot of time on trail in a lot of different conditions. I think it'd be kind of neat if someone sees this and wants to drop their lighter pack, and like, hey man, like, I'm going on my first hike of whatever, and I'm gonna be out for like 4 weeks, or I want to try it through. Like, what do I need? Like, is this stuff that I already have cool? The answer's probably yes, but I remember how scared I was of just like, oh my gosh, do I have the right thing? And I had my giant, big honking water filter, and I had to pump my Catadine water filter and all this stuff, and just learning about all the little things that make life a little less irritating out there. I'd love to be able to help more people with that and just kind of ease that, like, starting the trail, because so many people like just quit right at the beginning, and it'd be cool, like, hey man, like, you don't need this, or add one of those, or try this instead of that if you haven't bought it yet, but that'll work, that kind of stuff. If I could do that for somebody and help them get the experience that I've had, like, or something similar, and just enjoy themselves like I have, that would be really cool. So that would make me happy. That's why I'm so glad people are reading my book, because it's like, like, they read the whole thing, like, you can see the page count on Kindle Unlimited. It's like, 15 pages. Okay, I guess they stopped, they didn't like it. And then later in the day, it's like, or the next day, it's like, oh, they read the rest of the book. Like, it's like, so, anyway, it's fun. Positive mental attitude. Go out and have fun. And look forward to the future, I guess, instead of worrying about it. That's what I'm trying to tell myself here. So, check out some of my other videos if you want. See you later.